See, the issue with Witch Watch Episode 3 is they make a fatal mistake. We know, of course, Nico is gonna do some shenanigans. She's gonna get herself into hot trouble, and the idea of her splitting herself into two, while not on the top of my mind, is something that feels believable. That, yeah, we're gonna split ourselves into two so we have double the manpower to move things, but by splitting ourselves into two, we're going to have half the strength. So we're still doing the same amount of work for sharing a brain cell between the two. Because at the end of the day, as much as I love her as a character, Nico literally has a singular brain cell. She's adorable, but there's not many thoughts behind that gaze. So forcing her to share said brain cell between two is already shenanigans. But when you see four of them... See, here's the thing. This is the math of it, right? You can technically stretch a brain cell to fit into two people. Three's pushing it, but even that can sometimes work. Once you get into the four piece, the brain cell is stretched so much that it ruptures and there's no cells left. Meaning our boy Moy just has to run a preschool. This was a fatal mistake, and I'm truly shocked that it stopped at 4. I thought we were going to get into maybe 8 or 16 of them, and that could have been catastrophic. That's probably the funniest thing that happened in this episode. It wasn't like an overly funny episode in comparison to like the first two. And I think episode 2 is still the gold standard of what the funniest stuff can look like. But in terms of actual characterization and learning more about characters and familiars, I think they did a good job while also keeping it ominous enough about the prophecies. And now we have to deal with raindrops and dogs, and we're seeing that for days and still no prophecy has come true. But let this be a lesson. If she wants to cast magic, hit her over the head with a frying pan. Just send her to bed, because it's gonna be bad news. If you guys want to see my full thoughts on these episodes, though, support my work. We do got the Patreon, full link and live reactions over there exclusively. So, 2 things. 1, I thought they were gonna bamboozle us, cliffhanger us, when it came to the person who was standing on the wires, looking down at their home. I was like, oh, okay, clearly, like, either we're gonna end it here, or they're gonna jump us and record scratch credits play. And then that didn't happen. We actually fought him, and we got the reveal of like, hey, this is from when I was training. He's the Crow familiar. I'm like, oh, okay. Wasn't expecting all that. I thought you would bamboozle us, make us wait till next week. The biggest thing was I didn't think that was a mask. So initially I thought it was. I was like, okay, this man jumping us looking like a dog. Okay, clearly has to be a mask. And then he pulls out his wand and he's doing wind magic. I was like, wait a second. We're dealing with a world of magic. He might have took like, because he says like, or one of them says that this is the character from her favorite anime. So I'm like, oh, you had a stuffed animal and you did some alchemy shenanigans, like some Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and, dog and daughter mixture, and just this was more pleasant. No, it was a mask. So they actually surprised me there. Of course, if you're going to have a rom-com, clearly a character who's probably going to have some feelings for her, trying to get a little jealous, being like, are you good enough, is probably something you expect. But either way, it's kind of nice that rather than going the route, which I think a lot of shows in this department would, which is, okay, mom has prophecy, bad shit's gonna happen, immediately bad shit happens. Could be an episode from now, could be 7 episodes from now, who knows how long. We have a sheet, right? So if that thing, like, the seal goes away, we'll know that the prophecy has come to pass, and if she's still alive, then obviously all's well that ends well. But the fact that we dealt with a dog that looked like it was pulled from Satan's, like, hell pit, tried to attack her, and that wasn't part of it. We walked in the rain, we met up with a dog man, and still the prophecy has yet to happen. Meaning that our boy's gonna be paranoid. He doesn't quite tell her exactly why he's acting paranoid, so sometimes it seems romantic, like, get under my umbrella. But obviously he's like, I shouldn't tell her, and I kind of see where he's come from, because, like, I feel like a character like her, if you tell her dog and raindrops, it's gonna force her to actually make the prophecy come true, because she'll purposely know, like, I have to avoid dogs, and then blah blah blah, it triggers it. At the same time, not telling her could be the reason that it triggers. So it's kind of like no matter what, it's a do it or don't do it, he's screwed either way, because the prophecy is going to happen. It's just right now I can't tell, does the prophecy happen because he doesn't tell her, or because he does? I don't know, like, it's kind of up in the air. This was, in my opinion, the least funny episode. I think if I was to rank it, probably like 2-1-3 is how I'd rank the comedy. I did find the episode funny, and I thought like the first 8 minutes of the episode just being shenanigans when it came to them changing, and she casts a spell on a book, and she can make any clothes, but unfortunately the spell can only see the front part, so the back is, well, transparent, and bless our boy's heart, he's like, I guess that's the fashion sense these days, as he's embarrassedly trying not to look at her ass. But it wasn't like laugh out loud worthy in comparison to how episode 2 was just ridiculous, and the first episode had a couple of moments that really made me bust out laughing. But I still found it humorous. This is just the type of comedy that I may not be actually laughing out loud ridiculous, but I can be like, yeah, that's funny. And I think as long as they can keep it like this, at least keep it entertaining, I'm gonna have a good time. And I think what's really nice about the intro part of the episode, because there was 3 stories, right? Like, there was 3 parts to this episode. The first part does a really good job at showing how, even though our boy at face value doesn't appear like he cares as much as she does, because she's just swooning. She's absolutely in love. She's like, I want to kiss him. I want to have his babies. And he's just like, onion mug. I love it. I like the fact that he's like, I kind of like this day because I realize we actually have something in common. Because the fact that her clothes are from like 1920s because they're like hand-me-downs from her grandma and whatnot. The fact that he's like, hey, I'm really into this 1940s leather jacket. Like, the fact that he's going out of his way to be like, oh, we actually have these similarities, and clearly that meant something to him. Those are the moments that help you characterize your pairs that are supposedly supposed to be this romance in the making, while on top of the fact that you have all the ominous stuff happening with prophecies and a year's time from now. Currently, there's raindrops and dogs that are going to kill us. I'm thinking, oh, the raindrops aren't going to be real raindrops. It's going to be blood dripping from someone. I don't know. I'm a little paranoid right now, as you just have ridiculous shenanigans. I am interested because while there's a lot of room for magical bullshit that will be wild, as seen by splitting someone into 4 and no brain cell to be found, or a man comes to say, I need to make sure you're good enough so I dress like her favorite anime character and try to beat you up. At the end of the day, I think the thing that I took away the most from this episode was actually feeling like, rather than Nico being the one who's like trying to progress them into being a thing, this was the episode that I felt like he actually showed more connection towards her, just in a more subtle way. Like in the fact that he mentioned their similar interests and how he's going out of his way. Like the fact that a reasonable person probably would have had a crash out like, girl, you almost got yourself killed because of this dog, and he just immediately was like, I need to protect her. So it really shows that, like, he's not easily phased and gets fumbled by her shenanigans, which makes him probably the perfect yin to her yang. And honestly, yeah, I mean, while this episode wasn't laugh out loud worthy, it was damn good all at the same time. But let this be a lesson to Moy. Never, ever, ever let her do magic that could stretch her brain cell. Could cause World War III. Let me know your thoughts down below, though. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll just give you a video shout out. So today we got Conrad Sosin, Sovereign, Tobias Reinhold, Flavdorks 414, Wen2X, Drift, Ukondo Itzahuzi, Jesse Wright, and we also have Mick Pie, so I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Have a good one.